So, here you are. Another day, another moment in this journey we call life. You've been told countless times to be the protagonist of your story, to take center stage, to be the star of your own show. But deep down, you know that just being the protagonist isn't enough. You feel it, don't you? That sense that there's more to this narrative, more to the role you play in your own life. You've been handed a script, told to play a part, but have you ever questioned who's really writing the lines? You know this all too well. You wake up, go through the motions, acting out the scenes laid out for you, work, relationships, daily routines. But something feels off, doesn't it? You sense it, that disconnection between what you do and who you are. It's like following a script that someone else wrote, speaking lines that don't quite match the voice inside your head. And as you walk through your life, there's this nagging feeling, this void, this lack of something real, something authentic. You know that feeling. Going through life, ticking boxes, meeting expectations, but still feeling like something's missing? Like you're watching your life unfold from the outside, almost like a spectator rather than the one in control? You've talked about this to someone before, haven't you? The feeling of being trapped in a role, playing the part of the protagonist, but never quite being the one in charge. You've always known this, but you ignored it, hoping the feeling would just go away, that the discomfort would fade. But here's the truth: being the protagonist isn't enough. The protagonist, while central to the story, is still acting within the confines of a narrative they didn't create. They're following the cues, responding to the plot twists, but they aren't directing the story. And isn't that what you truly want? To be more than just the star of your life, to be the director, to control the lighting, the angles, the very script that dictates the course of your story. You intuit this, don't you? That to truly live, you need to take charge of the narrative, to go beyond just playing a part. Imagine this: your eyes are cameras, capturing every moment, every scene. But where are they focused? You know where your gaze lingers, don't you? On the past, on the what-ifs, on the regrets that play on loop in your mind. The script in your head, the voices. What are they telling you? Are they filled with self-doubt, with fear, with the echoes of others' expectations? Or are they whispering the truth you've long buried, the truth you've always known? That you are the one who gets to decide where the story goes from here. You feel it, right? The weight of the choices you've made, the roads you've taken, and those you've left unexplored. You've always had that sense, that intuition guiding you, but how often have you silenced it? How many times have you followed the script instead of your heart? The romances, the endings, the new beginnings. How many were truly yours? How many were directed by someone else's vision, someone else's desires? You want more, don't you? You want to break free from the roles that have been assigned to you, to step out of the shadow of the protagonist and into the light of the director. You've always wanted this, always felt that pull, that longing to take control. And now, here you are, standing on the edge of that realization, ready to step into a new role. You know what I'm talking about, right? That emptiness you've tried to fill with distractions, with busyness, with anything that keeps you from facing the truth. The void that sits in your chest, that feeling of loss, of missing something you can't quite name. It's a craving, a longing, a deep-rooted desire to live authentically, to live fully. And that only happens when you step into the role of the director, when you start calling the shots in your own life. But how do you do it? How do you move from being the protagonist to the director? It starts with a decision, a simple yet profound shift in perspective. It's about recognizing that every day, every moment, you have the power to change the narrative, to rewrite the script. It's about choosing where to focus your energy, what to say yes to, and more importantly, what to say no to. You've felt it before, haven't you? That surge of power, that rush of clarity when you finally say no to something that doesn't serve you. You know it's possible. You've experienced it in those moments when you've taken control, when you've directed the course of your own life. It's in those small decisions, those seemingly insignificant choices, that you begin to rewrite your story. But it's not always easy, is it? You feel the resistance, the fear, the uncertainty. You've always known that taking control means facing the unknown, stepping into a space where you can no longer rely on a pre-written script. And that's terrifying. But it's also where the magic happens, where true transformation begins. You want to be brave, don't you? To step into that role, to embrace the discomfort, to trust in your ability to navigate the complexities of your own life. You know this already, but sometimes you need a reminder. A reminder that you're not just living for the sake of living, that you're not just here to play a part. You're here to create, to direct, to shape the world around you according to your vision. And that vision? It's uniquely yours. It's a reflection of everything you are, everything you've been, and everything you're becoming. So, what will it be? Will you continue to play the part that's been written for you, or will you step up and take control? Will you continue to let life happen to you, or will you start making life happen? The choice is yours. It's always been yours. You just have to decide if you're ready to embrace it. And if you've made it this far, if these words have resonated with you, then it's time to take the next step. If something I've said today struck a chord, if it made you pause and think, then I invite you to join this journey with me. Subscribe, stay connected, and let's build a community of people who are ready to move beyond the surface, who are ready to face the complexities of being human. Together, we can rewrite our stories, not just as protagonists, but as the directors of our own lives.